high income ETFs have exploded in popularity over the last few years and have become core holdings in many investors' portfolios, particularly for risk-averse investors and retirees because of their focus on high income generation. And these ETFs typically use strategies like covered calls to generate premium income, which is then distributed to investors as dividends with yields often as high as 12 to 15%. And if you're in retirement, that cash flow can be a game changer, especially when it hits your account every single month. But there's a crucial trade-off. When you sell calls, you're limiting how much a fund can appreciate in value. But in exchange for that cap, you're generating income. And for many investors, that trade-off is perfectly fine. And you can see this happening with prominent funds like QQQI, GPIQ, SPYI, and the list goes on. But what if there was a way to invest in a high income ETF that not only provides you with an exceptionally high dividend yield, but also manages to outperform in growth? So much so that it could potentially outperform the QQQ. Well, there is a new ETF on the scene that has done exactly that. Since inception, this ETF has not only outperformed every other high-income ETF in its category, but has also managed to outperform the QQQ by a pretty significant margin, all while generating an exceptionally high dividend yield of around 15% distributed every month. I haven't seen a high-income ETF achieve these types of returns so far, and in my opinion, this could potentially attract other types of investors because of its unique structure. Now, this ETF is new, and I know that investors can be pretty skeptical of new funds, but the key here is the strategy. Once you fully understand how this fund works, then you can decide whether the ETF belongs in your portfolio. And this brings me to BALQ, which is the iShares Nasdaq Premium Income Active ETF. This fund has been flying under the radar. It's been publicly trading for over 6 months, and in that time, it has outperformed prominent high-income ETFs like QQQI, GPIQ, and JEPQ, and outperformed its underlying index, the QQQ itself. And keep in mind, we have seen the markets rally hard over the last few months, so the fact that a high-income ETF was able to capture that growth is very intriguing. So let's start with the fund profile. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm strictly covering how the ETF works in order for investors to get a better understanding of the mechanics and strategy behind it. You can then decide whether the ETF fits your portfolio. The fund was established at the beginning of December of 2025 and currently has around $20 million in assets under management. The expense ratio is only 0.35%, which is nearly half the expense ratio of funds like QQQI. The fund has also showcased the ability to mitigate downside risk, which you could clearly see during the March 2026 sell-off. Now, when you look at the fund's holdings breakdown, you'll notice something that stands out immediately: a massive allocation to derivatives at over 20%. The rest is allocated towards technology, communication, and consumer cyclicals, similar to the QQQ itself, although with a few key differences, which I'll explain in just a bit. So what is this 20% chunk in derivatives? This fund allocates that portion to Nasdaq 100 futures contracts. And I know that futures can sound scary for retail investors, but once you fully understand why and how futures contracts work, you'll get a better grasp of why BALQ is using them, and more importantly, how you can potentially use them yourself within your own portfolio. So what is a futures contract? In simple terms, a futures contract is a financial instrument that allows you to lock in the price of an asset today for a future date. And that asset can be the Nasdaq 100, the S&P 500, gold, oil, silver, interest rates, you name it. Now, let's break that down with a simple example. Let's say you run a coffee shop and you consistently need to supply that store with coffee beans. As a savvy business owner, you don't want to tie up all of your capital in one place. You need that cash working across your entire business. So instead, you purchase a futures contract for $500 that locks you in to purchase 10,000 kilograms of coffee beans at today's price. Let's say that's $1 per kilo, 3 months from now. This way you get full exposure to that price while keeping the rest of your capital free to deploy elsewhere. Now, 3 months down the road, you have 2 options. If coffee prices have risen to $2, you can simply sell that contract and pocket the profit. Or if you actually want those beans, you can follow through on the contract and take delivery at that locked in $1 price. Of course, the opposite is also true. If prices fall to 50 cents, your contract loses that value. That's the risk. But that is also the genius behind BALQ, and I'll explain in just a second. Now let me show you how this actually works in practice. I'll be using Plus 500 to show you. It is my #1 platform for futures trading. On Plus 500, you get access to futures on major indexes like the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, and even gold, silver, oil, interest rates, commodities, and many more assets that you can gain exposure to or use to hedge your portfolio. And if you're looking to get started yourself, there's currently a $60 promotional credit that you can get when you open and fund your account using my code Victoria60. Terms and conditions apply. Plus 500 also gives you access to a full futures academy where you can learn futures inside out. Understand how to capitalize on movements in interest rates, commodities, and other assets that go well beyond stocks and ETFs. So don't miss out on the promotion. You can find the link in the description below. But please remember that trading futures involves risk and is not suitable for everyone. Make sure that you fully understand the risks involved before you start trading. All right, so let's use the S&P 500 as an example since it is the most widely traded futures market in the world. And I'll pull it up right here on the platform so you can see exactly what we're looking at. You have two main types of contracts, standard and micro. A standard S&P 500 futures contract is known as the E-mini, and it gives you 50 times the exposure to the index. So if the S&P 500 is at 7,000, one E-mini contract gives you $350,000 in notional exposure, which for most retail investors is completely impractical. That's where micro contracts come in. A micro E-mini gives you 1/10 of that, around $35,000 in notional value. On Plus 500, you can get into one micro S&P 500 contract for around $1,700 in margin. And margin is simply the minimum deposit required to hold the position. But here's the crucial point, and please pay very close attention to this part. Just because you put up $1,700 doesn't mean that your maximum loss is $1,700. If the S&P 500 drops 10%, that's still a $3,500 loss. So the biggest rule with futures is always sized based on the notional value and not the margin. All right, so with that understanding, here's exactly what BALQ is doing and why it's working. Roughly 80% of the fund is invested in actual Nasdaq 100 stocks, and the managers are selling covered calls against those positions to generate income. The problem with selling covered calls on most of the portfolio is that it caps your upside. And when the market rallies hard, a traditional covered call fund misses most of it. That's where the 20% futures allocation comes in. By using futures contracts, BALQ gains additional Nasdaq 100 exposure with a fraction of the capital, and that futures exposure has no cap on it. So while the covered calls generate income on the 80%, the futures position is free to capture the full upside when the market moves. That's the key differentiator. It's what separates BALQ from funds like QQQI, which sells calls on up to 100% of its assets and caps a large part of its upside potential. Now, some of you may be asking, why use futures instead of options? Don't options also give you leverage exposure to an underlying index? And yes, they do, but there are two crucial differences. First, there's no time decay. The futures position isn't bleeding value daily just by existing, but option contracts suffer from time decay. And second, there's no vega risk. Options pricing can swing dramatically based on fear and volatility in the market, independent of where the index actually moves. But futures don't have that problem. The price tracks the asset directly. Now, there's also an added layer to this fund, and that is active management of its underlying holdings. And this piece is very important because it is what, in my opinion, assists in the fund's superior return potential. The fund managers use proprietary return forecast models and quantitative analysis focused on identifying downside protection opportunities and stock mispricing. So the stock allocation is not identical to the Nasdaq 100. There are strategic variances. It is more similar to how JEPQ operates. So altogether, you have an ETF that uses strategic stock selection paired with a covered call strategy and uses futures to gain exposure to the Nasdaq 100 without any cap on growth. Now, circling back to dividends, if you look up this fund on Seeking Alpha, you will see that the yield is listed at around 4.7%. And that is simply because the fund has not been around for a full calendar year yet. The expected annual yield is 15%. However, dividend yields are not guaranteed and can fluctuate based on market conditions and fund performance. Now, given the fund's use of Nasdaq 100 index call options, I do expect dividends to be tax efficient, with majority returned as return of capital, similar to its sister fund BALI, which returns around 80 to 90% as return of capital distributions. That is a significant tax advantage, but please consult a tax professional regarding your personal tax situation. Now, the fund's dividend history has been a little inconsistent, and I actually think that is a positive signal. It tells you that the managers are distributing what they've genuinely collected, nothing more. They're not artificially inflating distributions, which means the fund is retaining more value and compounding through superior capital appreciation. And when you compare its price return relative to its peers, you see that it is exhibiting much stronger price appreciation so far. So, altogether, you have an ETF with the potential to outperform not only its high-income competitors, but the QQQ itself through a combination of active stock selection, leveraged index exposure via futures, and tax-efficient income generation. Of course, this is not investment advice. Please do your own research and use what you've learned here to decide whether BALQ belongs in your portfolio. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out Plus 500's Futures Academy because it is a great resource to deepen your understanding of everything we covered today. And don't forget, there's a $60 promotional credit available when you open and fund your account using my code. Terms and conditions apply, and as always, please make sure you fully understand the risks before trading. And that is all for this one. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. Discussions of ETFs, investing strategies, market updates, or specific funds are general, not tailored to your financial situation, and should not be relied upon for decision-making. Investing involves significant risks, including total loss of principal, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I am not a registered financial advisor. My content reflects personal research and publicly available information. I may earn affiliate commissions from mentioned products or links disclosed per FTC guidelines, but these do not influence my opinions. Always consult a licensed financial professional and verify information independently. By watching this, you agree I am not liable for any losses or consequences from your actions. International viewers should consult local regulations.